No, I've lost connection. Give me just 1 second. I'm trying to get you connected to the
Okay.
big screen. Um, yeah, so that you can, because right now no one can see your presentation. Come on in. Yeah, it's not connected.
This room is not good one.
Yeah.
Just happens because of this room or TV program. Yeah.
The one in Pago Pago worked fine, so.
So we went to two presenters having a difficulty in this room.
Oh.
Yeah, today and yesterday.
Is there an empty room or one?
Yes.
It's eye level, the beautiful home area, eye level, amazing.
That's just cycling. I had it logged in and then I opened Zoom and then it disconnected, so. I don't know. We're gonna keep trying.
Maybe I think you need to use the adapter. You asked to the adapter to the down.
Use the adapter?
Yeah, kind of the. Maybe. Yeah. No.
Or do I need to try? Washington started in
They're trying to connect to they connected this USB-C.
Yeah, but I'm connecting.
Yeah. Because I remember Jeff was like fussing around before he was putting stuff in. I don't really think about it.
Well, I only have two options, so.
Perhaps?
How about using this side?
Yeah.
Oh, this side.
That's probably
Here?
connected to USB-C.
Four.
Yay!
Okay, now
Can I use the webcam from here or do I have to connect it to the computer?
Sorry?
So then the audio,
Audio.
let's see.
Somebody's waiting.
Oh.
Let's see, is the audio from but then the webcam, can he see the participants or I can't choose a camera, I can't choose another. So if you're going to do it via webcam, you can't connect it to the.
Watching you.
Yeah, I've got to turn it around.
can you hear me all right? Can
No,
you
you're
hear
good.
me? No, you can't hear me, or can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I apologize for that. We were having to get it all connected, but we are ready if you'd like to
Okay.
get started.
Yeah, so can I start now? You can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Feel free
Okay,
to
yeah.
go ahead and, yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening. I would say that in Japan it's 11 in the morning. I'm sorry I couldn't make it because of the visa problem this time, so I have to give a presentation online. And I was supposed to give two presentations. I put it together, that's why. And you're familiar with the Notebook LM, right? That's a very popular software application. And I made a Notebook LM sound summary. So I let you first listen to this summary, okay?
The way AI is evolving, well, it's really set to change things up in how we learn. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really fascinating new research. It looks at exactly how AI tools, when used with human interaction, can seriously boost English skills and even cross-cultural understanding. So our mission for you in this deep dive is to unpack the key stuff from 2 recent studies. They were presented at FLEAT 8. That's a big international forum on foreign language education and technology. We want to show you some surprising improvements and really highlight the different but complementary strengths of AI versus, actual human connection and learning.
Yeah, and what's really insightful are the core questions these studies went after. Like, is AI genuinely useful for learning English as a foreign language, EFL? And what are the specific jobs, you could say, for human teachers compared to AI? Does AI actually help students build that cross-cultural competence, or CQ?
They used a whole bunch of tools too, right? I saw ChatGPT was in there, Scribo for writing.
That's right, Scribo for that AI-driven iterative writing, help, getting instant, detailed feedback again and again. And Progos for checking speaking skills, plus the KSEC adaptive test to get a really good picture of overall proficiency. It kind of zeroes in on your level.
Okay.
Precisely. And these studies, one had 10 participants, the other 16, ran over about 14 to 15 weeks. Pretty intensive. And the key was combining these AI tools with actual live human interaction. Small group talks with native English speakers from the U.S. So a real hybrid approach.
Okay, right. So let's get into it then. With that setup, what were the actual results? How much did language skills improve?
Well, the data showed some genuinely significant improvements. Really quite something. For example, in one study, the average KSEC scores jumped, get this, 95 points, from 413 to 508.
Wow, 95 points.
Yeah. For a lot of learners, that's like going from just barely stringing sentences together to actually starting to hold a decent conversation. A big change in just a few weeks.
That's huge.
And across both studies, the overall CEFR levels improved for 75% of the participants. They moved up at least one whole level.
3/4 of them.
Right, like from A2 to B1 or B1 up to B2. And CEFR, for anyone listening who isn't familiar, that's the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. It's the standard scale everyone uses. Plus, the Progos speaking test levels also showed clear progress, like A1 moving to A2, B1 to B2.
Okay, a 95-point jump, 75% improving a whole CEFR level. That's really remarkable in just a few months. What was it about mixing the AI with the human interaction that seemed to drive those kinds of gains, especially on the language mechanics side? Was it just more practice or something else?
It really seems to be the combination. The AI is fantastic for that structured, kind of repetitive language practice. Think about those writing revisions with Scribo. AI excels at what you might call exploitation, using rules and data for predictable tasks that build those core skills.
Exploitation, or like drilling grammar.
Exactly. You get instant, unbiased feedback. You can iterate super quickly. Master grammar, vocabulary is very efficient for that.
Right. So AI clearly nails the mechanics, but then there's that trickier goal, cross-cultural competence, CQ. How did the studies look at that, and what did they find there?
Yeah, this brings up a really important point about what AI is good at and what, well, humans are good at. Participants did say their worldviews expanded, their CQ improved, but, and this is crucial, the student comments and the research itself drew a sharp line.
Okay.
Like we just said, AI is great for exploitation, those structured language tasks, but human interaction, that was absolutely critical for developing cross-cultural sensitivity and for fostering real emotional engagement, understanding different ways of seeing the world. So as the students pointed out, AI just doesn't get emotion, ethics, creativity, adaptability, not like humans do.
That really says something, doesn't it? It highlights that irreplaceable part humans play, especially for those softer, more nuanced skills. So it sounds like a really powerful combo then. AI handles the what of language, the structure, and humans handle the why and the how to feel and connect.
That's exactly right. If you zoom out, humans bring unique strengths, creativity, adapting on the fly, emotional intelligence, basically the ability for real exploration and discovery, especially in complex social situations. The studies were really clear on this. They actually stated interacting with people in person, not with AI, is always the best way to acquire cross-cultural sensitivity.
That's a direct quote.
Yes. It doesn't mean AI doesn't help at all, but that deeper understanding, that sensitivity, it really comes from connecting with other people.
Okay. So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to learn effectively?
I think the key takeaway is strategic coexistence. Use AI tools where they make sense. They offer huge support for language learning, refining grammar, optimizing specific tasks efficiently. But for developing that true cultural and emotional intelligence, for really lighting up the brain with what they call high quality interaction, you absolutely need human connection. It's indispensable. It's about smartly combining AI's efficiency, its exploitation power, with human empathy and our unique exploration abilities.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. As you go about your own learning, how can you consciously use AI for those specific structured tasks and at the same time actively make space for authentic human interaction, for those deeper, maybe harder to measure developments like real cross-cultural understanding and emotional intelligence? Something to mull over as you figure out your own best path to knowledge.
Okay, thank you. This is a sort of a summary of my talk. And on the right side, the picture, I often invite many American people, the Campus Crusade for Christ. They come to our campus, to spend about 4 weeks, and they interacted with the students. So I'd like to give some feedback to you about how the student gained the confidence, also how the student responded, to the interaction with the Campus Crusade. Okay.
The way AI is evolving.
This is first abstract, and also this is a second abstract. I was supposed to give a presentation tomorrow, but I try to put it to study together. So this is my outline. I have divided my presentation into 6 parts. First, theoretical background, and 2 case studies, result and discussion, and the singularity, AI versus human, and conclusion. The purpose of today's talk is technology could expand what people can do, and the rapid development of AI technologies set greatly transform education. Then how are we going to transform education? And the second important purpose is to identify the major difference between AI and humans in the context of education. And I made 3 research questions. Is AI useful for learning EFL? The second one is, what are the distinct roles of human teachers and AI in EFL instruction? Third one is, does AI help students to develop cross-cultural competence? You can look at this diagram. We are humans. We do have some physical ability, whereas AI has some augmented ability. But if we put the physical human ability plus AI augmented ability, we could take advantage of using integrated ability. Let's say that my IQ is 100, but the AI's IQ now is about more than 150. So if we, expand our physical ability with the help of AI, then the integrated ability turn out to be about more than 100 or 130 or whatever, you see. And the ZPD, the zone of proximal development, this is a sort of a Vygotsky's concept. It's a key concept in understanding how learners develop skills through social interaction and guidance using AI. So the gap between independent ability and the potential achievement is a zone where effective learning happens through collaboration and support. This is a sort of AI's law. And if you look at here, what student can do and what the student cannot do, in the middle, that's called a ZPD. Okay, one more, I'd like to introduce a social constructive framework, learning theory. And Vygotsky's social cultural theory emphasizing the social aspect of learning. The key idea is knowledge is constructed through social interaction. But sometimes we can interact with AI. However, it's awfully difficult to have a sort of a true social interaction. That's a sort of a problem that AI is now facing. So let me introduce first case study. I taught at the graduate school in Japan. That's a very famous graduate school, Tokyo Institute of Technology. Taught last year from April the 10th to the July the 10th. 14 weeks we had a class. The objective is to explore the integration of AI tools and human interaction in enhancing language proficiency and cross-cultural competence. And this is a procedure, and I gave the pre-test and post-test, AI-powered progress speaking test, and the student used, such AI, ChatGPT Scribble, DeepL Lite, and Grammarly for writing summaries. And the 4 phases of lesson, I will talk about it later. And then the student made a final presentation about their own research. So the assessment of final presentation with a peer eval. This is a sort of a human evaluation and analysis, result, and discussion. So this 14-week program, consists of 4 weeks learning with a foreign professor. I invite one professor from the United States, He gives give a series of lecture about worldviews, global leadership, cross-cultural communications, and at the same time, I invited 13 native speakers to my classroom, and 16 graduate students versus 13 native speakers, more or less, so the student could interact with one-to-one or one-to-two basis. And then 4 weeks, I taught the worldviews and scientific realism and research presentation skills. And the last 2 weeks, a presentation about their own research. And the kind of AI tools I use are as follows: ChatGPT, Grammarly, DeepL, sometimes Killbot, and then the Scribble AI writing software. This is a very powerful software application. It was developed in Singapore at the Mark and Dish company. And then the text-to-speech for listening and speaking, and then the Progos AI speaking test for assessment. And how to proceed with AI? I think we have to learn how to use a positive, how to use AI positively. The initial writing is just begin by drafting a text in the target language, and then assess their writing with AI based upon Cepher. And if you use a ChatGPT, you just prompt engineering, you write it down, could you assess my writing? And then automatically ChatGPT could assess your writing, based upon the Cepher. And translation and revision. And they use AI tools like ChatGPT or DeepL or Grammarly, Scribble for revisions. Revision is very important. And then the fourth stage is the analysis. Compare the original and revised version, noting key changes and reasons behind them to reach the goal of Cepher B2 or C1 level. And the final one is the reflection. And we have to always, let the student notice the mistakes. The student encouraged to identify mistakes, understand AI's corrections, and apply this knowledge to future writing to strengthen their language skills and build confidence in communication. So these 5 stages are very important to positively use AI. And as far as contents are concerned, we focus on how to develop cross-cultural competence, so the worldviews and metaphysics, global leaderships, ethics in leadership, and cross-cultural intelligence, science and theology, ontological and epistemological concept. And then I introduce world issues from Oxford Martin School and presentation research skills. And especially what I'm emphasizing is a sort of a development of intercultural sensitivity. And they have to shift from ethnocentric stages to ethno-relative stages. And I encourage the student to reach the sort of adaptation stages, not the integration, And so in this regard, I introduced the surface culture, the difference between surface culture and the shallow culture and deep culture. And I would say that the surface culture we can observe definitely. However, the shallow culture and deep culture we cannot observe. That's why we have to learn the analysis of worldviews, And in introducing the worldviews, this is a very important part. The slide introduces 6 key worldviews about the nature of God and the universe. For example, the first one is deism, God exists but does not intervene in the universe. The second one is the atheism, there is no God. Third one is agnosticism, it is unknown or unknowable whether the God exists. And the fourth one is the monotheism. I would the Christianity belong to this. That there is the one God who interact with the universe. And the polytheism, there are many gods. In Japan, many people do believe in the polytheism. And the last one is the pantheism. God and the universe are the same, everything is God. So the diagram usually shows the relationship between God and the universe in each belief system. So as far as our belief is concerned, we will be classified into one of these. Sometimes we may get into 2. In my case, I used to be the Buddhist. However, I converted to be a Christian, so that I do believe in the monotheism. So this has a lot to do with the worldviews. And this, the sort of student activity, you can see 16 student versus 13 Campus Crusade members. And the students are assigned to prepare for the talks with a PowerPoint slide, or they have to share their PowerPoints. and then had a discussion, so you can look at this. So the high quality interaction, that's a very important part of my presentation. And sometimes I don't know whether you can establish the high quality interaction with AI. And the meaningful and effective engagement, for example, the effective and meaningful exchanges are very important. And active listening, respectful communication, and thoughtful dialogue addressing each other's needs, build trust, empathy, and open communication. These lead to positive outcomes, improved relationships, creativity, and productivity. That is why I have chosen the nice, young people from the United States. They do believe in God. They really, try to set up some good, constructive relationship with my Japanese students. Now let me move on to the assessment. I use the AI progress speaking test and AI scribble writing software. And if you look at this slide, I gave a sort of AI speaking pre and post test before the treatment and then after the treatment. And the students are engaged in writing abstract, and then ChatGPT helped them to revise their writings. And at the same time, I introduced the Scribble AI application to assist the student writing. And final project, I have to assess the human assessment, a 15 minutes research presentation accompanied by an MP4 video. Okay. So over here, I will explain this progress AI speaking test. It's about 15 minutes. You can use a smartphone to take this AI-powered speaking test. And this diagram illustrates six key criteria used to evaluate speaking proficiency according to CEPA levels. The range is a knowledge and variety of vocabulary, expressions, phrases, and then accuracy, knowledge, and correct use of grammar. The third one is the fluency, the ability to speak easily and correctly. The fourth one, the interaction, the skill to start, maintain, and end the conversation effectively. The fifth one is the coherence, the organization of ideas in a logical manner. And the last one is phonology, intelligible pronunciation, intonation, and stress. So these aspects provide a comprehensive assessment of learners' speaking abilities, enabling target environment. So these aspects provide a comprehensive assessment of a learner's speaking ability, enabling target environment. Just only if they spend about 15 minutes, they could assess their speaking ability. The key features are as follows. Adaptive difficulty based on the student responses, the real-time scoring fluency, pronunciation, and grammar, the immediate feedback and score reports, and provides quantifiable data on student improvement in spoken English. So the student, as soon as they finish taking test, they could, take a look at the result, in each, six items, and then the overall score. This is a sort of my pre and post, and we can compare the overall score and range, accuracy, fluency, interaction, coherency, and phonology. And the pre-test, this is a pre-test, and then the post-test. If we compare the pre and post, and overall score, the mean score, from B1 to B1 high, and the range is from B1 high to B2, and fluency B1 high to B2. And over 14 weeks, they participate in this course. More or less, speaking test, they made much progress, Then what is Scribble? Scribble is a sort of this describes, the screen illustrates how Scribble provides immediate feedback on a piece of writing. And you write some, essay, whatever, then place it on this application. And the text displays includes a short paragraphs explaining an individual purpose in life, and maybe this one. And Scribo analyzes a text showing details such as the word count, number of sentences, and paragraphs. Based on this analysis, Scribo offers target suggestions for improvement under categories like grammar and spelling, cohesiveness, sentence structure, and vocabulary. The writing is rated at a B2 level basis on the CEPA scale in this part, and the platform highlights areas where the writer can make improvements to elevate quality of the text. So the Scrib's real-time feedback supports users in refining their writing skills effectively. And another advantage is you can use all kinds of rubrics. You can choose, free to choose. For example, the IELTS rubric, TOEFL rubric, TOEIC, and CEPA, and ACAN, and whatever. And the student really, engaged in using this software. And the student made some comment. The student used Scribo for weekly writing tasks, and while exact numerical result varied, many participants reported improved clarity and grammatical accuracy, and the end of the program questionnaire indicated that 87.5% appreciated immediate feedback, and 93.8% felt Scribo motivated them to revise iteratively. And another one is a sort of a human assessment. I usually use a smartphone to assess their presentation. And here there are 6 items we can check while the student giving presentation. And in the classroom, one student giving a presentation, other rest of the student, and also myself, I assess, at the same time. So there are 6 items we can check. And this is a sort of a result. And the comments about the use of payable, it easily reflect on presentation to improve weakness and quickly to get the mean score and the total 30 points in 6 items. So once they finish their presentation, they can quickly look at their result. And so it's a good, quick feedback. That's one advantage. Okay, now questionnaires. And the 93.8% of the respondents said that AI is beneficial for language learning, However, only, not more than 50%, the AI is not useful for learning intercultural communication and CQ. Right? AI isn't so helpful to learn the intercultural communication and CQ. And student comment. The main differences between AI and the human lie in emotion, ethics, creativity, and adaptability. And the AI still has limitation when making decisions involving ethical issues. And the AI lacks originality as it generates work based on learned data by certain limitations and the computer programming algorithm, And the AI is built within specific environment, less capable of adapting to new environment. That might be true. But the human beings incorporate emotion, empathy into their decision-making process. And human beings are more adaptable. So now let me move on to the second case study, Globis Professional University. That's where I teach now full-time. Here, use AI to teach EFL at the GPU. The last second semester, I taught them 15 weeks. And the first initial draft, they have to always write down after they, I always give them assignment. And then they have to make, they watched the 10 YouTube video and wrote down the 200-word summary for the second semester. And at the same time, they have to make 10-slide presentation. And in addition, they are, obliged to read AI textbook and summarize in English, and then made a PowerPoint presentation. And all these things are revised by ChatGPT. And sometimes the student are required to write a reflection report to find out some mistakes, And so after 15-week treatment, some students made much progress from 600 to 800 in Kazakh score, but the mean score improved from 413 to 508, about 95 points, average. So they usually submit their assignment to the Google Classroom without AI plus revised by AI. Always they have to submit both, drafts. Okay, assessment now, same thing, but at the GPU, they could take a CASEC pre and post overall, this could measure the proficiency, English. And the CASEC is 60 minutes, CAT, 1,000 points, full mark. The correlation between CASEC and the TOEIC is 0.87. And this is a computer adaptive English proficiency test widely used in Japan. And it evaluates 4 skills, the listening, vocabulary, grammar, and reading, providing accurate and efficient assessment of a test taker's English ability. So the mean score before the treatment, 413, and after the treatment, the improved up to 508, 95 points improvement. So this is a low data. And the CEPA overall assessment result, I would say that they took also the progress speaking test. And among 8 participants, the overall CEPA level at the time of pre-test ranged from A to B2. But in the post-test, the participant advanced by at least 1 CEPA level, just like here. And while 2 participants maintained their level, yes, showed the improvement in their individual score breakdown. So if you look at this, A2, B1, B2, B2 remained. The CEPA improvement rate is about 75%, indicating that the learning program and effective use of generative AI were highly beneficial. Okay, so this is a sort of this year. You see, I introduced a new system, learning flow and weekly task. And I introduced the English Central video. The students have to watch 5 English Central video each week and then write 200-word summary and submit to the Google Classroom. And this year, I invited also the 12 native speakers from the United States, 1 foreign professor. They spent about 5 weeks. So far, we have already had 10 lessons. And 5 weeks, they kept coming to our classroom to interact with a student. Okay. The pedagogy with AI is write their feedback from a YouTube video on the paper, take a photo of their writing. That's a very important point. And they have to, they used to write down on the paper, but they have to, use a word and then put it all that, they have to transfer to the digital data. But now, if you use a Google photo of their writing, transform the data to a digital form quickly, immediately, and then assess and correct their writing with either AI, assess their writing with CEPA, and correct their writing with AI, and adjust their writing to CEPA B2 level. So you can take advantage of using a smartphone, the Google photo system, to transform data to a digital form. Okay? And the simplified and clear prompts in English is as follows. Assess CEPA level, correct writing with reasons, adjust writing to CEPA B1 or B2 level. Okay, those are the very important prompts. Here the students are engaged, just a week ago, students are engaged in these 12 American campus crusade, also 1 professor.
Yeah. There's a laboratory attraction in the Paris.
After they use the AI writing, and they have to always, engaged in the presentation or output,
This is the completely free.
Okay, you can look at this, how the student engaged in.
Yeah. 70% of international ventures fail because of cultural differences. If you do not understand how to relate to the culture and you're a businessman or a businesswoman, you may not be able to do the business that you would have. But With CQ, we can engage in our rapidly shrinking world in an underlying sense of mutual respect and dignity with people everywhere, and better accomplish our personal and our corporate and organizational objectives.
You see, so the questionnaire I gave over here, I gave a questionnaire this last Thursday, June the 26th, at the after 5 weeks treatment, and over here, 87% of students reported that their worldviews has changed, and that's a very important part. Whether that they could be more open-minded, they could change their worldviews. Whether the language teaching is successful or not depends on how much they change their worldviews, how much they and the student, they highly engaged in English conversation, and also they found out a clear purpose for learning English. 90%, discovered a clear purpose of learning English, and the 100% expressed a high motivation to study English. And as for the AI use, about 94% students are using AI, and also the AI will make English learning more efficient. About 90% agreed, and the AI, but the combination of AI and human teachers is the most effective way to learn. About 90% agreed. And so I would say that let me do student comments after they interacted with Campus Crusade. Through interaction with short-term international student, I experienced both excitement and personal growth. At first, I was nervous about the language barrier, but I quickly realized that the communication is more than just perfect grammar. Smiles and gestures and an open attitude help us connect. So I learned that even small efforts like asking about their country or teaching them Japanese words could lead to meaningful conversation. Okay, and now let me move on to the important part of the singularity. You are familiar with this word singularity, and the difference between AI and humans. When the AI came into being about 2 years ago, we are keen on just this. We are very much aware of what makes us humans. We have to think about what the humans are, right? So the AI and singularity, the key point is the singularity. The moment AI surpasses human intelligence, predicted between 2030 to 2045, overcoming biological limitations. And the Ray Kurzweil, he's a very famous person. And according to his prediction, by 2029, AI will match human intelligence level, and the singularity may arrive by 2045, changing society, ethics, and economy. And as you know, SoftBank's CEO, Masayoshi Son, he believes the AGI, artificial general intelligence, will arrive within several years, not by 2045. And Masayoshi Son and Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT, they established a new company in 2025, February the 5th, So, but the AI has good point, but also AI has many disadvantages. And the AI lack of emotion, and also dependency, overall reliance on AI may hinder critical thinking skills, inaccuracy, hallucination. AI can produce incorrect or misleading information, and cultural gaps. AI may lack context or cultural sensitivity. And access issues. Not all students have equal access to AI tools. If we pay about $20, we could fully use the latest AI model. But if not, then we may have to adjust to the sort of mediocre AI tools. So the day challenges highlight the need for balanced integration of AI in education. And also that we may have to teach core skills for AI digital literacy. So just let me illustrate one by one. The technical proficiency and the information literacy, ethical awareness, critical thinking, communication skills, adaptability. Those are now the very important factors, as far as AI or digital literacies are concerned. And how could we mitigate AI hallucination? And also the AI always makes mistakes. That's why we have to learn how to deal with some mistakes, And the source verification, cross-check AI content with reliable sources, and the contextual analysis, ensure responses are relevant to the prompt, and eye-checking tools, use automated tool to validate AI claims, and human review, we have to involve experts for reviewing AI-generated contents, and lastly, the continuous monitoring, implement system to detect and address hallucination and AI outputs. So I think now that we are living in the age of AI, so the university education has changed a lot. And in order to develop our AI literacy, in whatever the subject we are teaching, the student has to learn, to develop their sort of a sensitivity to judge whether the AI's answer is right or not. That's our responsibility. Okay, now let me move on to the AI versus human. Key differences. As I mentioned, AI is highly skilled in exploitation, like data processing, fast analysis of large data sets, and consistency, repetitive tasks handled with precision, but the limitation lacks emotional intelligence and depth in human interactions. So the human strength is exploration. A human is good at creativity, innovates and generate new ideas. Adaptability, and the human could adjust to changing circumstances. And the emotional intelligence, use intuition and emotions for complex decision making. So the complementary role of AI and humans is AI optimizes respective tasks and process data, enhances efficiency and problem solving. Only AI can answer the sort of the problems we can solve, And the human provides creative solution and adaptability, adds emotional and cultural intelligence to decision making. Right now, what we are scared about AI is, we have been developing many technologies in the past, but we can control of those technologies. But AI is totally different. AI, we might have created the AI. However, now the AI power is shifting from human control to the AI control. AI becomes sort of a agent, AI agent. So that we are now having some difficulty to control AI completely. That's a sort of a major difference between the former technologies and the current AI. So the AI versus the humans. Interacting with humans is generally more effective for learning cross-cultural CQ, as I mentioned, because it involves real-life experiences and emotional engagement that AI interaction cannot fully replicate. While the AI can provide valuable information and the simulations, the nuances of human interaction are best experiences directly with other people. So the future implication is investigate long-term effects of integrating AI and human interaction in learning cross-cultural competence. And challenges with AI in education is AI enhance learning outcomes but cannot fully replicate human emotional engagement in cross-cultural context. So the AI, as the AI, drawing near the sort of singularity, this may be going to change, So the interaction, the key, interaction not with AI, but interaction with the AI is a key. Interacting with people in person, not with AI, is always the best way to acquire cross-cultural sensitivity and understanding different worldviews. AI doesn't have a worldviews, So key takeaway today is AI tool like ChatGPT, other AI software, offers substantial support in language learning, but the human interaction remains critical for cultural and emotional intelligence and development. John Dewey, in the experiential learning, he said, I quote, if we teach today as we taught yesterday, we love our children tomorrow, The technology we have at our fingertips can help us to become those memorable teachers of tomorrow. So, in conclusion, it highlights the importance of coexistence with AI, developing AI literacy, and mastering prompt engineering. Additionally, to stress the need to mitigate AI hallucinations, foster high-quality interaction, simulate intellectual curiosity, and encourage inquisitive minds for a thoughtful, innovative approach to learning in the age of AI. So final comment is, Domina seminate omea, the Lord is my light. I spent about 3 years to study science and theology as a visiting fellow in Oxford. So I always quote this, that's a very important, keywords. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. These are the references. Okay, thank you for listening. This work was supported by JSPS grant. And also, if you are keen on AI at Oxford University, this is the most advanced, AI site, Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much. Some people, there's your final version slides. Some people wanted to get your information, so if this slide is up for them to scan the QR code.
Yes, this is a
This will be
QR
great.
code. Yeah.
Any questions? We have a minute. Any questions that you?
Other questions, but I can't formulate them.
We have.
I have to ask ChatGPT to help.
Okay, we have.
What?
we have some that are thinking about questions and how to formulate them, and they'll reach out to you via email once they.
Okay.
Once they. There's a lot going on right now at the end of the day, so
I
they
know,
said they
yeah,
would.
this is my email.
Yes, perfect. Let them get a picture of that, and they will
Yeah.
reach
But
out. It's been a great day. It's been a long day, and I think
Yeah.
our brains.
I should have been there, I should have been there. Sorry about that this time.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. You can see the lovely flowers out the window
Yeah, I
there.
know. I used to,
And then-
I used to attend any FLEAT conference for the past time, but only
Yeah.
this time I missed, great opportunity to attend the FLEAT on site. Yeah, but thank you for your patience. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your patience and getting us logged in, and thank you for your presentation. And we hope you have a wonderful day.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. May the Lord bless you all. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You as well.
Okay. So I can now leave.
Yes, everyone has your information. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, bye bye. Thank you. Yeah. Bye bye. All right.